Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to You Create Art at Home. My name is Bess, and I'm here with your daily dose of me time. I'm here for you just to take a quick little break during your day and give yourself, well, look, here I am. I've got my cup of tea. So we're talking about having a cup of tea and having a bit of me time and just having a little break. Whether this is lunchtime, I'll just put that tea down before I spill it. Whether it's lunchtime, whether it's your morning tea break, or maybe you're having a group meeting and you just want to kick off the group meeting with something a little bit different. Yesterday, I took a pause, as you know, and I did that drawing of Salute for Solidarity, which I thought was important to embrace, acknowledge, and respond to obviously what's been happening in the US. And I'm not going to dwell on that, although just to say it was quite interesting. Somebody else messaged me and said, you know, different groups and different people have been responding to it in different ways. While some people call it riot, some people call it rebellion. Well, some people are calling it carnage. Some people are calling it, you know, change. And the language of all of that is quite different and appeals to different senses of what you think, but also when you communicate can be, I guess, miscommunicated some way. Alongside all of that, the unknowing, being unsure of communicating the right thing, saying the right thing, maybe you haven't said the right thing, maybe you've done the wrong thing, is the word fear. And fear is what we're going to talk about today. You know, fear comes across in body language, doesn't it? We hop around on our seats usually if we're a bit nervous. Our eyes, let's do our eyes. They'll dart around like this, and we'll look tense and frown, and you know, maybe we have sweaty palms and we start to feel uncomfortable. Fear can be, there are different levels of fear. And I think of fear as like a color chart from a hardware store. You know, you have the brightest, most vibrant, most poignant fear, which is life and death. You know, where you are so fearful for your life, you do not know whether this is going to come out okay. Then you have other levels of fear, you know, oh, Mum, I'm really scared. I forgot to do my homework. I'm going to get in so much trouble today. You know, yeah, they're fearful and you're worried. That's more of a worry than a fear. But should we play them down? No, we shouldn't. You know, we are worried and fearful when we are in the workplace. If we have, oh my goodness, when I was working in the workplace, when I was working for a food manufacturer, I was a marketing brand manager, and I had to analyze the stock returns and the sales for a big supermarket. In Australia, it would be like Coles or Woolies, but it was a large supermarket in the UK. And my decision, along with the sales manager, when we analysed the figures, we made a decision and we wiped £5 million worth of sales from our food production company. That was the right decision based on the analysis. But wow, were we fearful for that decision in business? Hell yeah, because I had to go to my boss and justify why our business had lost £5,000 worth of revenue. Now, as it was, I had a recommendation to fill that gap. And when we're fearful in the workplace or even at home, the thing that's crippling about fear is not knowing how to get out of it, not knowing what's on the other side. And sometimes if we just take a moment to think around the problem, to almost find a little bit of a solution, then it takes the edge off that critical moment. And it becomes a concern and a worry rather than that full on, up the other end of the scale, life and death, fearful moment. So we're going to draw fear from upside down today. Oh, sorry, upside down from inside out. Same, but different. We're going to draw the little fear character today. And again, it's something that you could use as a visual reference at work, at home. You know, if you are worried, you could just play the fear card. And it just gives people the kind of visual cues that actually you are not feeling comfortable. You're outside your comfort zone. And what you're really saying is, please can somebody help me? Or can somebody support me? Or I just need a little bit of kind of space just to process what I need to do to go forward. All right, so I'm going to flip you over. I've got a story to share with you as we do our drawing. It's only going to be 10 minutes or so. I'm going to use pencils and colour pencils. If you've only got a biro, use a biro. Okay, so 10 minutes or so, do our little drawing. And this is your second little emotional card to have in the workplace. All right, let's whiz you over. So let me press that button, flip the screen. Boop, there we go. And down we go. So these are the emotions that we are going to be drawing and looking at. Sadness, joy, anger, fear, and disgust. All of those are playing into our current situation, aren't they? You know, with regard to COVID and with regard to what's happening following the Floyd murder. You know, it's very prevalent at the moment in the news. And so I think it's a really good thing for us to be doing during our drawing stage. So here we go. I'm going to pick. So I've got all my pencils there ready to go. I've got my pencil sharpener and I've got my rubber, but we're going to start off with just a plain pencil. And we're going to start off by doing the first shape. And the first shape is kind of like an elongated oval. This is Fear's head, an elongated oval. And we'll work into the shape as we draw it. So for now, we won't worry about it being exactly right. We'll work into it as we draw it, and we will just get that light a little bit closer for you. There we go. And we will sort of figure it all out. Okay, now his body, actually, I'm just going to put that a bit higher at the top of the page. So I'm just using an index card. So I'm just going to make his head start up here, just because the Fear character is quite a long body character. So I don't want to run out of space. So it's kind of flat on one side, curved on the other. It's a bit like a backwards letter D, I would say, a backwards letter D. All right. Now we want to do a kind of banana-y shape, and this is his body. So we're going to banana it down this way. I guess that's about 1, 2, 3 centimetres. And the same with the inside. He's a skinny little minx, so not a very wide body. And roll it off. Now, if we carried that curve on out there, carry it on a bit longer, a bit further, and to there, and now come back on itself, and we're starting to do his legs. Now, because he's fearful, he's looking that way and walking that way. So he's a bit of a quivering mess is our little fearful guy. There's one leg going in, the other leg, and then you can just pop in his feet at the bottom. A couple of little rectangle shapes for now is all we need. Now we're going to put in his arms, and at the beginning we're just going to put a letter V. So let's do one letter V and put an O on the top, and a second letter V, which is at the back of his body. That's going to cut through and up, so you end up almost like a W, and put the O next to it. So that will be his 2 fist shapes in a moment. And now we're going to pop on 2 eyes, and his 2 eyes go at the top of his head. So spin yourself round, put one eye at the top of the head, followed by the second eye slightly higher. They're really sort of googly eyes, these eyes. And they, you know, this is where all the expression is for our fearful character. And we want to make sure, I'm going to make that slightly bigger. We've got a good space to put the pupils right in the middle. So I want you to do an iris and then a pupil. And the other one is going to tuck in behind that eye. So an iris and then a pupil. So we're trying to get that kind of, what do you call it, when they're cross-eyed kind of look. Okay, now he's got a really big wobbly nose. So right down and under, kind of pointy, so not too long, and kind of curves back. It's a bit like, Not as crooked as Gonzo in the Muppets, but that kind of look. Now we want 2 bananas on top of his eyes. So 1 banana. And then 2 bananas, or boats, I guess they are. And these are the eyebrows. 1 banana, 2 banana. And they're, you know, they are, oh, that one's a bit too long. Hang on. Needs to finish there and go up. Use your rubber if you can't get it in the right place, just like I have. It's important to get it in the right shape. That one's a bit long there. It's when you look, after you've drawn them and you almost look back off it and you think, yeah, that's just too long there. It's not quite right. Okay, and now we're going to add in the mouth. And the mouth is a shape. So here's where the mouth comes from. And we're going to go, there's the lip across the face. Not exactly horizontal, so a little bit of a raise. Slant it down towards the outside of the head. And then curve and go back. So this is where we're going to put in some teeth and make him look kind of worried. Okay, so I'm going to stick in his teeth. Doesn't matter how many teeth you draw. It's a cartoon character. So he's got that kind of worried look. Excuse me, just having a cough there. Let's put the wrinkles round his eyes. So just a few wrinkles. As if he was kind of bunching his face up. I don't want that extra wrinkle there. Just 1 wrinkle on that side because he is the far side. That didn't look quite right. So just 1 wrinkle there like that. And now we're just going to carve the face a little bit. So there's the top of the lip. And then just bring it in to go underneath the nose. So you can see I've just shaved a little bit off there. And then from there, we're going to curve it out and put a slight curve in it because that's the sort of curve of the cheek. And then we want to round the mouth and bring it into a neck. So you can see just tiny, tiny amendments there just to make that face play out and be a little bit more accurate. On top of his head, he's got a really big spiral hair curl. So we're going to pop that in next. And I can't fit it exactly, so I'm just going to let it go off the page and curl under. Okay, so coming down towards his body, he's got a little bow tie. Maybe if you wanted to make him a bit more relevant to your workplace, he could wear, I don't know, a tie. If you've got ties in your workplace and you've got a uniform, you could make it the same sort of uniform that you guys have got. And we're going to do a fist. Again, another fist, a bit like yesterday. Start off with a curl there, which will be the little finger and the pad of the hand. And now you can just do the other fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, curling round. So you have that side view of the curl, and then you just do the other fingers much easier at the top. So like I say, if you've got a certain uniform, you could make his clothes exactly like your uniform. If you want to copy me and just do the inside out character, then you can just copy what I've drawn. So I've just drawn a little sleeve there, and he's wearing a tank top. So I'm going to put a V in his tank top and just make the line a bit harder. You know how tank tops have that kind of ridge at the bottom, don't they, of the knittedness? So we're just going to add in that tank top shape there. And now we have to do the other side of his other hand. And his other hand is kind of fumbling his fingers. So his fingers are open. And I'm just wondering whether I can, so I can't really show you. I was going to show with my hands. The other hand is kind of like this, like this. So we have a curve, do a spiral curve like that. That's the little finger again. And do the outside of the hand. So it's a bit like a question mark. a little line there which shows the palm. And then we're going to do sort of straight lines to make it look like the fingers are kind of open and moving. So then you've got the little creases of the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just round that end one off. Then add in the cuff on that arm. And we're going to add in the sleeve. Just need to make sure those two join up. Put a curve in where his sleeve is. And now we're going to work the trousers and the shoes. So, I mean, the trousers don't need too much more, but let's put a bottom on him. Give him a bit of a bottom. Loosen out the baggies. Do his knee. You could add a turn up if you wanted. He's got a turn up in the film, so we could add a turn up. And some shoes. Now, if I do a semicircle here at the front, and then another semicircle and bring it round, this makes it look like that's coming forward. It's foreshortened the shoe. And this one I do this way. The normal way you do a side view of a shoe, and that's how you make it look like he's got his feet kind of twisted in together in anxiety and concern. He's got that kind of, oh, I'm really worried and really scared looking about him. So I'm just going to colour it. I'm just going to press a bit harder on all my drawing lines like that. His pupil is black, so I'm just going to use my lead pencil to colour that in. Let's give him something to stand on. And a big baggy eye there because he's looking all concerned. And now we're just going to colour him in. And the colour they use for fear is purple. So I'm going to colour him in and I'm going to tell you my story. So my husband and I went backpacking when, when we first got married. It was our honeymoon and it was the most fantastic trip ever. We left and we were going to go for 12 months and we came back 3 years later and we travelled through America, Canada, the Pacific Islands. We travelled through Australia, New Zealand, Asia, India, Nepal, Africa. I mean, just the most incredible trip ever. Like, seriously, fantastic. And instead of having wedding presents, we asked our family and friends if we could have money. And we put it in the bank, and we didn't just want money per se to pay for the tickets. We'd already paid for all of that. But we wanted money to pay for experiences. One of the experiences, for example, is we took a safari. We did hot air ballooning in Pennsylvania. We flew over the Niagara Falls in a helicopter. What else did we do? Bungee jump in New Zealand, of course, skydiving, you know, the usual crazy things that you do in your 20s when you think you are invincible and life has never been so good and it's all about thrill seeking. But some of the experiences that we had really did take us to the edge. One of those experiences, and this is where, if you're talking about the scale of fear, this is where I was at the dark scale of I don't know whether I am going to, just pressing harder there to get a shadow from his nose, where I don't know whether I'm going to live. Like, seriously, I was fearful for my life. And we had taken a whitewater rafting trip down the Zambezi. We went in from Zambia side. And it started off amazing, you know, exactly as you would imagine. Woohoo, this is great. Oh, we're hanging out. It's so much fun, you know. If only our parents could see us now, all of that kind of stuff. And we flipped a couple of times and we crawled back in, and, you know, everybody was kind of laughing and joking, and it was all very funny. And then one flip, probably, I don't know, we'd been in for a good few hours. You know how it is. You hike down to the water, you're carrying the boat on top of your head, everybody's pulling together, but you all have to be in it. You have to help out. You know, the guides are there to help you, but ultimately we're all in it together, as they say. And after a couple of hours of going down the rapids, you know, your body's been battered around pretty much. You're pretty exhausted. We flipped, and it literally went upside down, and I got stuck under the boat. Now, part of what you learn when you're doing your pre-whitewater rafting kind of consultation and training, I guess, gosh, you have 20 minutes on the bank. Oh yeah, you know, just do this. And they say to you that once you flip, you just need to try and reach round the side of the boat, put your hand up, take the biggest deep breath, put your hand there. Someone will find you. And, you know, we'll all be there on top of the boat, and we'll see a hand and we'll pull you out, and you have to trust us. That's what we're all going to be there for. We're all going to find you. There'll be an air pocket. Find the air pocket and keep going. What they don't tell you is the sheer fear of being stuck under that boat when you are traveling down a torrented river, which is moving. I don't even know at the speed this thing is moving. I have absolutely no idea what that would have been, but it felt like, you know, ridiculous miles an hour or kilometers an hour. You're being battered by the water as it moves up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're going over, you know, whatever's creating the rapid is still underneath you, and the water's flowing, and you're underneath the boat, trapped, thinking, I've just got to get out. I've just got to get out. Nobody is going to be going underneath the water to save you. They're all trying to hang on and save themselves. So I'm upside down under this boat, and I am literally trapped underneath the boat. Nobody else is there. I can hear noise. I can hear the water powering, and I'm in this little air pocket. I can open my eyes, and the blackness was blacker than any black. Such a bad phrase of English, but do you know what I mean? It's like the blackest colour I had ever seen. It felt so dark. There was not 1 ounce of light that I could see. The water, because it was raging torrents of blue, well, you say white water, but obviously it's blue, and underneath the blue is this, you know, dark, rock-based kind of riverbed, which is why the rapids exist in the first place. So underneath this boat, it's absolutely pitch black. You cannot see a thing. You cannot see where daylight is. You're caught under an air pocket underneath this rubber dinghy with the noise and the echo of the water, the people screaming and shouting because they're all trying to get back on the boat. And you realise that you are in the most lonely, the most quietest, coldest, darkest place that you have ever been. I mean, it is so dark, and you are basically, well, you're in this place. You are in a state of fear where you really don't know how this is going to play out. That's our drawing. I'm going to flip you over. And, you know, you don't know how it's going to play out. You're unsure of even what to do. And you think to yourself, okay, what's the ABC steps? What automatically your body's in adrenaline because you're trying to save yourself. And, you know, the water's flushing, and I'm breathing in this tiny little air pocket. And in your mind, you're going back to the resonating moments where you were told what to do, which was put your arm outside of the other side of the dinghy, slap it as much as you can, and somebody will hear it. They'll find your hand and they'll grab you. And when I went to reach to go round the other side of the dinghy, I took a big breath, went under and reached. I realised because I was so short and my arms are so small that I couldn't even reach around the corner of the dinghy to slap it to make the sound for someone to save me. You know, I'm still going downstream. The water's going all over me. I can't see anything. I'm in pitch black dark, and I am scared. I am so fearful. Somewhere in my mind, there was this moment where I just went, I don't have a choice. There is nobody that is going to get me out of this situation other than me. No one's going to jump in. No one can dive in from the side and save me like I'm in a swimming pool. You have to save yourself. You have to step away from the fear, walk into the brave, and just do it. Now, you've got adrenaline running through your body like there's no tomorrow. I understand that. And sometimes that's exactly what adrenaline's for. It's the most amazing natural drug that you need, because you need it in order to take that step of Dutch courage, which I don't even know what that phrase means or why we say it in England, but that's what I learned as a child. You take a big deep breath of Dutch courage, and I can remember thinking I am going to have to swim under and then pop my hand out and kick my legs to get my hand high enough to do the bangs. Meanwhile, hoping that someone was going to see me, realise, pull me out and get me. And that's exactly what I did. It took 2 attempts. The first attempt, I just thought, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to drown. And I literally thought, this is it. And those life and death moments, if you have ever experienced one, and I wasn't at death, but I felt like I was nearing death. The flashes of life that come in your eyes at that moment. Fear. I didn't see any joy. I didn't see any hope. I didn't see any of that. I just saw fear. And something was like, I could see David's face and the moment of us. And it was that I was reaching to. It wasn't reaching for the boat. I was reaching for, I guess, my future. And that last time, took a big deep breath, kicked like anything, popped up, gave it a massive bang. Someone grabbed my arm, flipped me on top of the boat. And I certainly arrived upside down on the back of that boat, choking, spluttering, and overwhelmed with exhaustion from the whole emotional experience. Now, that time that felt like it was probably 2 hours long, might have been 2 minutes, if that. It was one of the most terrifying moments of my life, because I actually did think, it's curtains. However, what I realized in retrospect, looking back on that, is actually when we are pushed to those extremities which make us feel so uncomfortable, we just do not know how we are going to move through them. That's often where we find the inspiration and courage to battle through, because there is an inertia within us that actually powers us to go forward. And I think we can all learn from that. All of us have had some experience, maybe not life and death, maybe not so extreme as that, because obviously that was an extreme sport. But I'm sure we can all draw from some sort of experience that's going to help us in the moments like now where our businesses are in an uncertain future moving forward, but we can learn from them. And we can think, yeah, there are times that have been worse. There are people that have had worse experiences. I'm okay. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to reach out. And often there is somebody there to guide and help you. So that's today's little story for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now get back to work. I'll be back tomorrow and we are going to draw sadness. Oh, and we're sad because it's the end of the week. And maybe we'll draw joyful as well. Maybe we'll put sad and joy together so that we sort of create a balance before we finish on a Friday. All right. Hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.